is Enrique Hernandez, and I call and I sign my art as Selfismo. I call myself a Selfismo because that means my own self. Because I never went to a school, to art school and nothing. And I just for many reasons in my life, I become a painter. I cannot even say a creator, but okay, whatever. Now at this moment in my life, I am in the US. I'm making a living from art, and that's all I do, so I have time for it. I go in different places here in this city, Orlando, Florida. I visit in different places in downtown and around the city. Lake Eola is my favorite place ever. I start making art like officially because when we child we always do something, and we born creators. We just get lazy, and I start doing it like, okay, I will not stop never anymore. This is my thing, and this is what I love, and this is what I want to do in my life. It happens in Spain, 2010. In Spain, I had my first art show in like official gallery, Salamanca province, and the name of the gallery was Casino Obrero. Little later, I moved to Canada. In Canada, I was living in British Columbia. I went to Vancouver for a little bit. I started working in Vancouver with a photographer. His name is Richard. Really awesome guy. Yeah, he teach me a little bit there about photos and stuff like that. And I moved to Calgary, Alberta province. So in Calgary, Alberta, I got more. I spent more time there, so I done more art shows, and I grew up with the art community there. So I decided to move here to the US, Florida. I am here only 1 year and 6 months, and I done already like more than few art shows in Orlando. So I feel always like hungry for challenge and goal. I think the life made me that way. Now my really first goal right now in this moment is trying to visit in Cuba again, so I can see my son again. It is already, as I told you, like almost 6 years I didn't see him anymore. So I want to see my art in different galleries around the world, so everybody almost everybody can see what I'm doing. I'm just sharing something different to the society. So welcome to my studio. Yeah, this is my universe here. So you can see I'm working in that piece now. I'm working in this piece now. This piece is I can say it's about this period in my life now. It's like a theater, too many characters and everybody talking different things, people from everywhere. Some people are trying to be something and they are not, and it's confusing. So the painting is a little bit on the confusing way to people express their life sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, this is me. This is me. Welcome to me. They are like my blood drawings, like by accident I start bleeding or whatever, so I make paintings. So that don't happen often. So I did in Canada, and actually I sold it. And So yeah, I got a small cut here, you see. I got a scarf everywhere, but this small cut here, I was doing whatever, and I start bleeding. I say, wow, so I get a brush and I make a humid with my saliva. I know sounds gross, but it's like, because I want, probably somebody can clone me in the future. You know, so I want no water and nothing. I want everything from me. So I get my saliva and I get the blood and I made it. So you see those words? They are in many of my drawings and a few paintings. That is kind of my style language. You know, those words doesn't mean anything for us, well, maybe, but at the moment you write the word, it's in the planet already. So it's here. They are here already. So this is my crazy writings. I do always nothing make any sense. So I say, like, I call this poem real, like a real is like real. So I say, yeah, because I'm real, right? So I say, this is my blood and it is my life. Never back, always lying, blue. Sometimes just go with the flow, but I know only one way is making us with love. Just love, because when everything ends, will be just love. I don't know. I think I was romantic, or I don't know, or in pain with my small cat. So I put my blood there and still material, you know. This is a really true painting. This is a real one. You know what I mean? Because that one definitely have one part of myself, like definitely. All of them, but this one is me. Mm-hmm. You know, so I don't know, I painting this girl with this second girl. It's like the consciousness. You know, you can see my logo here. The teeth means like evolution and life and nutrition and teeth. I love teeth. So yeah. I born in 1978. My dad was in jail already. That's the thing my grandma told me, because I never met my dad in my life. Yeah, because my dad was in prison, so they get people from the prison and they put it in a boat and going to the US. So my mom get into a Peru embassy in Havana. So many people get into they like get in with no permission. You know what I mean? So because Peru, I don't know, I think was already US land or something. So when you get into the embassy, they another deal inside there. I don't understand nothing. They move to they start moving people to the US too. I was inside the embassy with all that thing happen. My grandma saying everybody was so thirsty, hungry, bunch of people sleeping in the floor, you know, like crazy. And my grandma asked permission to the government to get into the embassy and get me and my sister, because I got one sister in Cuba. So they let my grandma do it, and my grandma get in and she talked with my mom. Hey man, you are so young, with 2 children, you're going to the US now, you don't know what exactly will happen over there. So let the kid here with me and go by yourself and see how that goes. If everything is good, you come back and get your child. We'll take care of them here for you, you know. So that happened, so I stay in Cuba. So my mom there was at that moment was no internet, so my mom was sending letters to my grandma in Cuba, you know, or vice versa. And my mom, in 1986, she disappeared. And my dad never, he never appeared, never. I don't even know how his look like. You know, I don't have any photo or nothing. So. And my mom in 1986, she disappeared too. Nobody knows where she is anymore. And we are already in 2017. So I grew up in Havana. I born in Havana, but my grandma is from another province in Cuba. So my grandma was much like a farmer lady, like a really strong lady, and you know I can remember now and I'm laughing because really strong. And so she raised me as my dad, as my mom, as my friend, as everything, you know. But she was working so hard always. So she working every day like a long shift, like 10 hours, 11 hours in Cuba, always out. So I grew up mostly by myself and my friends and neighbor, you know. So yeah, I think the freestyle I have is because the free, like when you got your dad and say he sit down with you and he talk to you and say, hey kid, you can probably do this, but if you doing this, it's not good for you. You know, I never had stuff like that. You know, I always like some. I done a few mistakes too. You know, because ignorant and you know no experience and so. Yeah. So the thing you was talking about my logo, right? Mean protection. I think since I create this, I feel like I don't know how because I still needing a lot of help too. But I think with this I will help a lot of people. I don't know how, but it means for me like protection. I think always because I feel that way to protect myself since I was really kid because I grew up so in this big jungle almost by my own, you know. In my art, my pieces, very few times I feel like putting a name or exactly meaning on my paintings, because you know when you name a painting, it's something is forever. You know what I mean? I don't really want to put this as okay, I am the real creator of this. No, I just feel I am just the tool, and I am probably a visionary or I don't know. But I just feel the tool made them. You know what I mean? I really respect this more than me. I got my 17 is when the one of really of important moment in my life, because that changed my life forever. I was 17 years and I was in can say a disco. I was with my girlfriend. So when we get off the disco, we got assaulted, right? Yeah, by can say two more childs because they was childs like me, and they actually get a hat, you know, like a baseball hat. I have it at that moment. I remember it was like a New York baseball hat, yeah. And they get it, but they was one of them in bicycle, and I started screaming. You know, I was drinking. You know, 17 years old. I was completely out of control too. And I started screaming to them, hey man, what the hell, you know, give me my thing back, you know. And I started offending them, you know, like you, whatever, you know. And they came back, and I started fight with one of them. I used to be like a boxing, so I can say I was having fun with that, you know. I was having fun with that. But then another guy say, hey, move on. And that guy have like samurai sword, right? Samurai sword. And for me was a piece of wood or something, you know. So he hit me one time and he hit me here, but I didn't feel anything. I was drunk. And with 17 years, I guess I was too drunk, like completely drunk. So I didn't feel it, but he hit me here first, and he do it again, and I put again my hand, and he cut off my hand, but I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it either. And but I know that one was already more serious. But I didn't feel it either. And one lady was, around there. I seen another girl. She is screaming, "Hey, you got his hand off." So and they start running, and at that moment I said, "A hand off, le cortó la mano." When I look my arm, all the freaking blood in my face, I was, no, this is not true. I'm dreaming, I'm dreaming. This is not true. I remember what's the first things I come to my brain. This is a dream, you know what I mean? I'm dreaming, so I'm trying to wake up and not wake up. It's not wake up. It's in the dream forever, So I said, what the hell? So I walking, like I get, but because I got like no t-shirt, like long t-shirt, yeah, I had that one. So I take him off, and I was barely, because I start feel already like, because I was losing too much blood, and was raining a lot. So I put my clothing in here, and I tie most I can, because was not able to really tie, So I tie, and I walk like probably almost one block, and was a bus stop, a bus stop there, and I remember was like two girls and one guy waiting for them, but was raining a lot, and they was waiting there for the bus or just hiding from the rain. And I came there so wet, and my arm and blood everywhere. And I asked them, hey, please, I help, help. Somebody call somebody, I need help. I need to go into the hospital. And I remember one of the girl passed out. Yeah, passed out. And the other one started screaming, I get so in shock. So the guy say, he said to them, no worry, all good. He really need help. So he tried to. He ran, and he tried to find the help, but he was, I was like, wow, like feeling so bad. I said, no, I cannot wait for anyone. So I started walking by my own. with no, you just walk and you don't know where you're going. So I was doing that, I was walking, and I remember I felt was a big avenue, like a really huge avenue in Havana, and really downtown, and I fell on the street where the car passed by, but it was raining so hard, so the cars, even with the light, they cannot see people, you know what I mean? They can see you on the floor, yeah, when they are almost on you, you know what I mean? Because the long distance is off, it's too much rain. And I remember I fell, and I remember one car passed by me, not even see me, like a just the tire, and I say, wow, I will die here, so I stand up again, and I walk, man, I promise, never, I was walking, I don't know where, I was like, conscious what I was doing, what exactly I was doing, and I know that area, I know where is the hospital. I walk in the wrong distance when I have like a hospital like 2 blocks down, and I knew it, and I walked the wrong way. It's another hospital this way, but it was like almost 7 blocks. But when I got this way, I was complete. I know for a fact I was completely. I don't know where I'm going. You know what I mean? And what was one hospital behind me, man, like behind me, right almost across the street where I was partying. Can you believe it? And man, I stepped in the other hospital. I don't know how. in Emergency. That was the scene I saw, Emergency, and that guy was coming out already, yeah, with the guys, with the ambulance. You know, they was putting the bed into the ambulance, and they said, "No, he's here, he's here." You know, so they ran into me, and I passed out right there. Yeah, when I wake up at the next day, yeah, I was completely, you know, yeah, all this. When I wake up and I saw this, oh man, hospital. Yeah, no, in the hospital for a while. I have like they call it. I don't remember, like something like a shock in my brain. And I lose the time. You know, I was, yeah, I don't know who was my grandma. I was that way, you know. So I became like, that year was really hurtful and awful year for me, because yeah, I became violent, and yeah, was not good. But the thing is, I always I was in love with the arts, you know, because, you know, when this happened to me, I got so depressed. I said, no, my life is not good anymore. I don't want this life, and I was 17 years old, you know. So I said, I don't want this life anymore. And, you know, for so long I wasn't happy. I came back to school, and so hard, because, you know, for so many years, and still not uncomfortable for me. Like, you know, I feel bad when, you know, when people see me with one hand, or that kind of feeling. Now I'm more open. You know, I'm now more open. I'm 39 years old, so it happened like 22 years ago. So I'm more open, but still I feel uncomfortable sometimes. You know, it's a beautiful lady, so I'm trying the first impression to show it's not my hand. Probably after she know me or whatever, I'm okay. You know, but the first impression, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's naturally me trying to not show the it's obvious, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's something, because that I still keeping a little bit of that, because that moment, because, you know, at that moment, man, I hide in my hand, in my life, in here in the pocket for, I don't know, for 8 or 10 years. My hand right here. I was walking everywhere with my hand like this, as you see now, everywhere. People know it, man. I know. People, nobody say nothing to me, you know. I know you have one hand, you know. You don't need to hide it anymore. But I was like this, you know what I mean? Like this, doing everything like this. So I became a master doing everything like with my hand in my pocket. Yeah, all that thing affecting me a lot, you know. And so when I completely decide to start creating and painting, so I say, is when I say, wow, I feel I am a person now. You know what I mean? So I feel, even if my art don't take me anywhere, my art already took me where I want, where the exactly place I want to be myself. You know what I mean? I can deal with my own self in different ways, and I don't bother anyone. I don't really need nothing. You know what I mean? And the only thing I really need is always have that for the thing I ask in my life. Have to place where I can create forever until I am not in this world anymore. You know, that's all I ask. Always be able to create.